Hello everyone, I am the Aries. I know it's been some time since I've brought another video, but well, I'm bringing one now, so yeah, there it goes. Give me a second, let me get back into the swing of things. Oh, why can I not still? I'm sorry, but you try to look into a camera, look directly into the camera, it's good enough. Okay, what do I want to talk about today? What do I want to talk about today? I know where I kind of want to go, but it always takes me a little while to build up to whatever I'm talking about for today. Odds and ends. I'm going to change the direction of this channel. I'm going to change the whole direction of everything that I do. Now, if you're with me on Twitter, you'll see that I'm just, well, kind of all over the place like I am in YouTube. But it's more focused on Twitter. I get a chance to sit there and say directly what the divines think about a certain situation. What I usually do is check out news articles and get the divine take on things. And who am I to get a divine take on anything? Well, if you don't know that, you've not been listening to me, because I am the sun and I'm on this earth. That's who I am. That also means I'm the divine on earth. Consider me the pre-King of Kings, but here unofficially. You can all take that with a grain of salt if you want. It doesn't even matter. I've got my confirmations. I've got plenty of confirmations. And I'm confident in who I am, what I'm here to do. Now, what am I here to do? I'll tell you what I'm not here to do. And that's do a bunch of stupid-ass love reads or twin flame readings. I could care less about it. I really, honestly could. And in fact, I'm kind of worried about some people who do some of these love reads, because if you're doing tarot and you're doing love reads, but if you're not sitting here telling people that, look, tarot does not predict outcomes. It predicts energies. And energies are changeable at the drop of a, no, can't. At the change of a thought, no. Energies are as changeable as the next thought. Yes, it took me a while to say that, but you know, you can change the whole scenario, which is a thought, because that thought will put you in a certain energy, and that energy that you're in will throw off a reading that someone's giving that's drawing your energies in. So I'm not here to do love readings because it's too problematic, and I think it kind of builds false hope. And the best thing I could sit there and say to anybody who's looking for love through tarot: love yourself, understand your worth, and accept nothing less than anyone you're going to deal with. You're a worthy person, and you deserve a worthy person. And tarot might help you what days to go out, where maybe you should go looking, maybe. But at the end of the day, if you want love, you have to prepare yourself for love. You have to make yourself worthy. You have to love yourself. You do. And I understand people sit there and say, love yourself. That's just cliche talk. Maybe it is a cliche, but it's still true nonetheless. You do have to have love for yourself, because you have to sit there and say, you know what? I love myself so much that I'm not going to settle for scraps of love. I'm not going to be with someone and they're not fully committed to me, or they're not giving me their all like I'm giving to them. You have to be willing to say, I'd rather be alone than half-assed in love. So yeah, the spiritual journey could be, I don't want to say a lonely one, but you will be alone a lot of the times. And really, honestly, would you have it any differently? I mean, the spiritual world changes us. I'm a much different person than I was, when I started my journey. I guess it's 2018. Much different person. The same habits and hobbies and friends and just whatever I used to have, not there anymore. I can't sit there and go hang out with the same friends that I used to hang out with before. I just can't. Why? Because they're talking about the old, they're talking about the past, they're talking about things that used to be. I'm different, I'm new, I'm focused on going forward, not the past. So yeah, you might have to spend long times on your own in the spiritual path, but if you've done the lessons right, you should be okay. Now you might still want companionship, and you might still want love, and you probably do because love is everything, But there's no point in having a bullshit love because a bullshit love will not fulfill you. It never will. Don't settle for scraps. Not when it comes to love, because you deserve someone to love you. You deserve someone to love you like you love them. Lord. I really need to write things down because, well, you see, I go off on a tangent quite often. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about? Religion. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Aries, really? Religion? Yes, religion. Now, I don't want to single any one particular out, but because honestly, the religions we have now are either completely false or just corrupted. Something that's completely false, I would say, would probably be, I don't know, a religion that sits there and says it's okay to put women as second class. Oh, wait, that could be all of them. Sorry. oh, wow, that is all of them. But I've often said that the religion is not really a woman's friend. Not an independent woman who's capable of thinking on herself anyway. It's just not. With the religions, all a woman will ever be is a helpmate. You won't be a person on your own. It won't matter what you want because you're sitting there supposed to do with your family. Who was it who said, Congresswoman, the greatest thing a woman can do is be a mother? Marjorie Taylor Greene, the so-called Christian nationalist who's really, Christian nationalism, let me just say real quick so that none of you forget this. You Christian nationalists are not for Jesus, and Jesus is not for you. And I can sit there and say this wholeheartedly because I am the Son. I am the divine. I am source on earth. I don't care if you believe it. I don't. But think for yourselves. Do you really think Jesus needs a bunch of racist people sitting here promoting him? Because if you look at Christian nationalists, evangelicals, well, boy, that's a loaded word because evangelicals, they're probably the worst branch of Christianity that I can see. Well, no, there's Catholicism, the original bullshit. And Catholicism is full of lots of bullshit. Purgatory, buying your way into heaven. That's all it was. And if you really want to sit there and see what the Catholic Church did, the bullshit the Catholic Church, go read some history books. There's plenty enough there. But back to Marjorie Taylor Greene, white nationalism, and that's what it really is. That's what Christian nationalism is. Christian nationalism is, because they don't care about black people, they don't care about gay people, they don't care about women. And Marjorie Taylor Greene can get on run her big mouth about everything, but a woman has a right to sit here and do anything she wants to do. And who is anyone to sit here and say that this is the role a woman should take? And I think it's especially insulting when you have another woman sitting here saying that. But then again, it's Marjorie Taylor Greene. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is filled with toxic energies. She's a bully. She's a hate monger. And she's really stupid. No, seriously. She's really stupid. You hear all these gaffes she's making. Yeah, people make word gaffes, but with her, I think the divine are sitting here trying to tell people something. And the divine will tell people. People will tell on themselves. George W. Bush was speaking not too long ago, and he was talking about, I guess he was talking about this war going on now with Putin and Ukraine. He made a slip of the tongue. He was ascribing Putin, but he said I think he put himself in there or America in there. That that was a faux pas on his part, but the divine were behind that slip because what George W. Bush did in Iraq was some bullshit. He had us going. We messed up the Middle East. We sat there and took out Saddam Hussein when he was a check to Iran. Historically, it's always been Iran, Iraq. And we needed that check. But for some reason, George W. Bush wanted to go into Iraq, made up a lot of bullshit, and had a whole bunch of jackass Republicans sitting there going with him. Donald Rumsfeld, Dick Cheney, they were all complicit in this. They helped him do this bullshit. The Iraq War, big mistake on America's part. Big mistake. It destabilized the Middle East in ways that should have been known, but weren't. If you're wondering, oh, I bet he went off on tangent again and can't remember what he's thinking. You're right. But the bullshit within religions. Why is, and I'm going to sit there and speak to Christianity because it's not my place. It's not part of my mission to sit there and say who's a bullshit Christian, who's not. Because honestly, Christianity is not the religion of Jesus. It's not the religion of the divine. It's a religion of man. And honestly, the Bible, well, the New Testament isn't really, well, supposedly it's the word of Jesus, but it's really Paul's influence. Paul, don't let the history books fool you. Judas was weak, easy to manipulate. But Paul, he was crafty, he was cunning, and he was conniving, and he had a lot of bullshit to say. What the crap that went on? What you see, the bullshit that goes on in Christianity, the intolerance, that's the influence of Paul. You won't get that in history books, but I'm telling you right now. Oh, so I'm doing a change of direction again. I'm going to probably, well, I was talking to my friend Evie. Evie from Twin Flame 3344. There's so many Twin Flame channels. I think it's 3344. Evie was telling me, well, you know, I might not want to be political because you're going to lose people on one side or the other. And I was like, you're right about that. You know, you're right. But then I thought, you know what? I don't care about this channel. I don't care about this channel at all. I'm only here just to, well, I'm here to get the word out, but I'm here really putting this stuff down for the future because I realize how I sound. I realize how it comes across when I talk. I realize that some of the things I said sound crazy. I'm aware of that. But one day in the future, I hope it's not too much of a future because I would still like to enjoy recognition. But one day in the future, I know people are going to sit there and say, you know what? He was right here saying this shit the whole time. He was sitting here telling us the whole truth. He was sitting here bringing the power of the divine army of angels. He sat there and told us what we didn't even know. He's sitting here doing magic in people's faces, sitting here telling people he's doing magic, but we're not going to believe him. Now, that used to bother me, but then I thought, if I'm going to come back here in another lifetime, in an official capacity, it doesn't matter, you know, because then I'll get the recognition then. But for right now, years down the road, people will all be saying, he was right here. He was right here the first time, like a thief in the night, right here. But that's neither here nor there. That's somewhere down the line, probably. But for right now, I'm going to speak to all you Christians out there. Stop bullying the LGBT. No one sat there and told you to bully other people. No one sat there and told you to use the name Jesus when you're bullying other people. And I have to think, you so-called Christians, do you really believe in Jesus if you're going to sit here and be intolerant and not love everyone and not accept people for who they are? And that's who these people are. People are born with masculine and feminine energies. People have masculine and feminine frames. Yes, true. People think in terms of gender. Man, yeah, that's straight up masculine. That's not true though. Think woman, oh, that's straight up feminine. No, that's not true. Even the body itself is masculine and feminine. Now, I remember I was having trouble with this. It was towards the beginning part of my journey. And I had this, I hesitate to call these dreams because some dreams are not dreams. They're just astral communications or ethereal communications. I'm not sure. But this is one of those things. I was in a party dancing, which was odd because I don't dance at all. Although, the craziest thing is, I don't dance and I'm dancing awkwardly. And I was doing it in the same dream too. I'm like, you would think that I would dance perfectly in the ethereal, but no, I'm dancing awkwardly. But yeah, so everyone, it's a whole party, whole group scene, And then I look up, and the girl I'm dancing with, it was crazy. And it was a woman, but had masculine features, and clearly pronounced. Not like, oh, well, that's a masculine looking eyebrow or something, but clearly you could just sit and say, oh, that's a man's eyebrow right there. And then I looked at everyone else in the crowd. Everyone just has all these parts and features. It's like, but I understood what it meant. I understood completely. Everyone has masculine and feminine energies to varying degrees. Even the form is masculine and feminine. So there's no point in picking on people, lesbian, gay people, or transgender people. How many crimes against transgender people go unsolved? How many people are willing to turn a blind eye to a gay man getting beat up? How many people are going to stop it when a lesbian couple is getting harassed? And how many times is this harassment coming from Christians? How much of the hatred and animosity of the LGBT is due to religion? I think it's fair to say all of it. Well, yeah, I probably couldn't say all in absolutes, but over 90%, I'm sure. And the thing is, well, I get Islam. Islam is just some bullshit religion anyway. I mean, come on. Well, I'm not even about to sit here and go into the bullshit that Islam is, because it's a religion of men. And as far as Muhammad being a prophet, if he was the test of a prophet, the true test of a prophet, is if your example lives on long after you. The example of Jesus, be good to people, be kind to people, that lives on. Even when people don't meet this lofty goals, but they still have it in heart, this is the way to go. I should be kind to people. Muhammad, let's see. If you slight my name, I'm going to have people kill you. Or now, I'm paraphrasing. I am not an Islamic scholar, but I see enough going on in this world, and I do know enough because I have studied it, because I've studied on an immature basis a lot of these religions. It's not I was looking for a perfect religion. No, I'm just like to know stuff. That's just how I've always been. But you look at some of these demonstrations going on about, what is it now? Muhammad was depicted or something, and I think it was a CGI character, or, well, I don't know. There's some big controversy going on. You'll have to check it out. But no divine figure would ever want warshed because of someone's name being shit on. You think Jesus would want somebody to go to war because someone made a joke at Jesus' expense? Jesus has a sense of humor. Jesus is joy. Jesus ain't going to get pissed off all bullshit like that. Why can't I look at this camera? Right, wait, is that right? Get enough. All you Christians have to stop. Stop this bullying, stop the racism. And I'm telling you right now, this evangelical movement, this Christian nationality, it's another name for racist people. It's another name for hate mongers, because that's all they do. Name one Christian nationalist who's not sitting there preaching hate. Let's see, who is it? Greg Locke. Yes, his name is emblazed upon my mind because he is a bullshit ass Christian. No, he's a bullshit person. He's not for Jesus, and Jesus is not for him. You can't be sitting here. You'll have to sit there and see Greg Locke for yourself because words can't justify it. All I will sit there and say that there's a lot of bullshit within Christianity, a lot of mean-spiritedness that is not of Jesus. And you people need to stop. Because I'm telling you, Jesus is real. Jesus was the life of the Son. That means it's a divine message, a divine personage. And if you do something in the name of Jesus that sits there and harms people, you're going to pay a price in karma, and you deserve to. Because the name of Jesus is magic. People use the name Jesus to heal people. People use the name Jesus to bring peace. And you people want to use his name to sit here and fight gay people, fight lesbians, fight transgender people? No. You can't do it. You won't do it. And I know a lot of you so-called Christians, sorry, I wanted to make sure you did the air quotes, Christians, because you're not for Jesus, and Jesus is for you. Jesus didn't start this religion. Don't claim Jesus if you've got hatred in your heart. If your message isn't one of joy and inclusiveness and acceptance of people, don't claim Jesus, because you're daring the universe. You're daring God. You're daring the divine to sit there and step in and show you a lesson. And you are. It's not a threat. I'm not going to do nothing. I'm not going to do nothing at all. But I'll tell you this. I'm a conduit for divine justice in this world. And if I sit there and see something, if I sit there and see some bullshit, and if I sit there and think about it and understand it fully and understand the bullshit of it, the divine will answer. And the divine will show up. And the divine will do something about it. You look at what's going on in this war in Ukraine. You think that the Ukrainian army could do this on their own, stand tall against the Russian army for 4 or 5 months straight without any kind of help from the divine? No. Yes, you can sit and say, yo, the soldiers are doing that. Okay, the divine worked through men. And when I tell you the divine are in this war, they are in this war. The angelic host is not to be trifled with. They are the war angels of heaven who are here to do a good job. Because this world is filled with bullshit. Now, I don't do love tarot. I'm not really sitting here. I'm not going to sit here and teach you all the other kind of stuff. You can learn a lot from some of these people on YouTube. A lot from the spiritual community. You can learn a lot. But my goal is here. My mission is to teach people that the divine are real. That the divine are here. And that when people sit, because I don't think that people really believe in Jesus or really believe in God with the things they do. You can't sit here and tell Marjorie Taylor Greene sits there, thinks Jesus is real when she's sitting there bullying people in Congress. And that's what she is doing. And she has bullied people. You can't sit here and tell me she thinks that Jesus is real doing this shit because she's trying to do it in his name. A lot of these so-called Christians, a lot of these televangelists sitting there telling people how to live their lives because of a book they read, a book they don't even believe in. And they don't believe in it. Look at the way they live. A private jet. Kenneth Copeland has, how many private jets does he have? I don't know, but a lot. How much money does Kenneth Copeland have? Millions. Millions and millions and millions. Sitting there preaching hatred. And doing the name of Jesus, getting rich, getting profit. Now, I mentioned Kenneth Copeland. And then I've also mentioned Greg Locke. And pay attention to what's going on to these Christian preachers, because I get the feeling that a lot of them are about to start turning in on themselves, because evil turns in upon itself. That's a book in a quote. That's a quote in the book I read. And I've told you before, one of the things I clearly remember from the awakening speech I was given, certain esoteric truths are hidden in the works of science fiction. And evil turns in upon itself. It will. Look what's going on with these Christian pastors sitting here preaching hatred. Watch what will come for these people. Watch what happens to these people. Watch what happens to all their mountains of money that they sit there and worship. Watch. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know the divine are upset at the way some of these people are leading people astray and doing it in the name of Jesus. I don't know what's the matter with some people, but I don't know. I messed this video all up. I should have written something down. Oh, well, let me go talk about myself again. So, you know, I'm on Twitter. I'm changing things up around here. I quit my job again. I just didn't have the energy to do this or to do the things that I need to do, things that I'm doing now and things that I'm going to be doing. Projects, collaborations. I couldn't do that if I have no energy. And with work, it was like I'm working and I'm sleeping. I'm working and I'm sleeping, and you can't get shit done like that. So I have to sit there and say, well, look, I'm halfway across the country. I'm staying with friends, and who knows when that might end. Can't go home because I don't have a home to go home to. And really, I mean, physically, I suppose I could go home. I mean, I don't have a home to go home to, but it doesn't feel right to go back because I'm not home. I'm searching for home. This whole journey is for me searching for home. You know, and I get the feeling that's going to be the feeling that a lot of you have as well. So I quit my job. I've got to go ham now because I've got to. You know, it's like I'm not fulfilled unless I'm doing my mission. And sitting here working a 9-to-5 job is not helping me. I'm not feeling happy. I'm not feeling good. And I'm starting to get angry because I'm like frustrated, annoyed that I'm still here. Because honestly, when I came into this world, I thought it was going to be a lot different. I thought it was going to be a big come to Jesus moment. They were going to come to the ARIES, and I was going to give out the work assignments and tell everybody, look, here's what we got to do. Here are my ideas. Let's get your ideas, and let's do shit. That didn't happen. Although I suppose maybe I should be surprised. I had a couple of clues or whatever. I don't know. The professor always sat there and said, oh, they're not going to work with you. But, and then too, from the awakening speech, they told me, look, people are going to be jealous. Why? Because you are who you are. You are linked to the divine, and you can do certain things that no one else can. No one else on this earth can do. And yes, I'm honored, but that has kind of made me an outcast in the whole spiritual family. But I suppose it's okay because the spiritual family that I want to be a part of is the kind of is the family that's going to go out in this world and help people. Is the kind of people that are going to say, you know what, I got to get my hands dirty. That's fine. And go to work. It's not all rainbows and unicorns. It's a real world. And I'm sick of hearing about the new earth. We're not at the new earth yet. We have to build it. Look at around you. There's too much bullshit going on here for us to call this the new earth. We can't call it new earth, not yet. We have to put in the work. I'm prepared to do this. I'm prepared to give it all. But I'd like for people to help join me, because if I have people joining me, so much more get accomplished. So much more. Everyone has their own little corner. Everyone can do their own little thing, you know. I'm sitting here trying to create projects that will benefit tarot readers. And I'm not doing tarot. I don't read tarot. Why? Well, my energies are way too strong for it. And one time at work, you know, I call myself, I am the sun. So I'm reading cards for someone at work. Real quick, girl. Anyway, I sit there and say, okay, I'm about to do this. I'm about to do this. Try to impress somebody. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So I tell her, okay, here are the energies surrounding you. So I start to deal out the cards. First card, a sun card. I'm like, that's me. Oh, I don't know about this. So then I see the 8 of Wands. And then I see the 2 of Cups. I'm like, I had to stop right there. I'm like, no. No. because I was reading myself, and I didn't want to read myself. Well, I'm trying to read for her because, well, yeah. But the projects I have will involve all the different communities of the spiritual world, all of us. It will involve everyone from all the different corners of the world because we're all a family, you know. And how many times I don't know. I say we're a family, but are we though? You know, I certainly look at us like we are, and I try to sit here and think that we're a global family. So I'll go to sit. I will go to readers chats from other countries. I can't speak the language. I might get lucky if someone speaks English, but you know, I never know. But I only do it because I want to throw my energy. I want to show my support. I want to sit there and say, we're one family. We are the world. We are world strong. But that's the kind of spiritual family I want to be a part of. People like me who are willing to go out. People who do the hard work. Who understand it. It's going to be a struggle. Who understand it. I got to get my hands dirty. I can't sit on the sidelines. I can't be all nice and kind and positive all the time when I need to be helping people. And help people, sometimes people have to sit there and see that you've been in the darkness as well. No one's going to sit here and want to listen to someone who's all perfect. No one's going to want to listen to anyone who's perfect. Nobody. They didn't like it. And if you want to, don't mention the name Jesus, because I will tell you things about Jesus that you will never know. He had it just like this. People just like everyone else. People didn't come to Jesus till after he was dead. I'd rather have some success while I'm still alive. But you're in the spiritual world, you play the long game because you understand there's a difference between the soul and the life. This life is just a pit stop. The soul is eternal journey. And if this life doesn't get to experience the things that I'm working towards, another life will. Play the long game. It's not just one and done. No, it's one and then plenty more to come back. Well, everyone always comes back to earth. Most people like to think, if I get to heaven, I wouldn't come back here. But that's not true. And in fact, it doesn't matter how bad your life is on earth or inside of creation, because there are other planets. But it doesn't matter how bad your life is, how bad it was. People always come back. Why? Because perfection for eternity, it's cool, it's perfect, but you don't get to learn, you don't get to experience things unless you come down here in the 3D. That's just how it is. Let's see, did I have a further point with this video? No. Do I want to pull cards? Kind of, sort of. Oh. Nope. Wait. Oh, well, I guess that actually will work.